He went out to Horn Island with some buddies on a boat. Has not been heard from in close to 24 hours.
18-year-old Nolan Wells disappeared off the coast of Mississippi. Authorities say Wells traveled to Horn Island with a group of friends to celebrate the 4th of July. Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter says that Wells decided to stay on the island even though his friends left on a boat. Around 8:45 a.m. is when the sheriff says a body was found near the island.
Searchers believe they found the body of 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells after he headed out on a boat trip with friends for July 4th and never came back. Why was Nolan the only member of his friend group who didn't return to shore? And what is next in the search for answers?
Y'all, I grew up on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, so when I heard about what happened to 18-year-old Nolan Wells, I immediately paid attention, and it has everyone wondering what the hell happened on Horn Island. So I really want to go over the timeline with you guys just so we can establish exactly what happened from beginning to end as we know as of the making of this recording. So it says, here's what we know about the disappearance and death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells. The body of 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells was found in the water just off the northwestern tip of Horn Island Monday morning, which would have been Monday, July 6th, according to Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter. Around 2 p.m. on Tuesday, July 7th, Jackson County Coroner Bruce Lind confirmed to WLOX News that the body was Wells, according to dental records. The cause and manner of his passing haven't been released, but investigators told ABC News that they suspect that he drowned. But they're still continuing their investigation, of course. An autopsy was performed on Tuesday, July 7th by the state medical examiner, but officials say it could take a few weeks to receive the results, which will include a toxicology report. Here's what we know about the timeline of events leading up to Wells' discovery and what happened afterward. So on Saturday, July 4th, Wells traveled to Horn Island with a group of friends, which you guys can see here, to celebrate Independence Day, you know, the 4th of July. They just wanted to go out to Horn Island and have a good time, and then yeah. The boat left from a private dock in the Ocean Springs area, according to Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter. Wells was last seen near the island around 3 p.m., according to Jackson County Sheriff's Office. Wells did not return on the same boat as the group. So this is the part right here that I'm really struggling to understand because, like, just being a woman, I feel like whenever we all go out together, like if I were to go out with my friends, if we all go out together, we come back together. That's the part that I'm really kind of struggling to understand. So did all of the boys like kind of go back home and then he just chose to stay? Like, I'm just trying to understand what happened here. From what we understand, he chose to stay there, Sheriff Ledbetter told Good Morning America. Wells' mother contacted the sheriff's office on Saturday evening, which would have been the 4th of July, around midnight to report that her son had not come home. So on Sunday, July 5th at 12:26 p.m., Coast Guard Sector Mobile said it had received a request for assistance from the sheriff's office in search of a missing person in the vicinity of Horn Island. The Coast Guard said an urgent marine information broadcast was issued and a helicopter was sent to search the area. At 12:31 p.m., Jackson County Sheriff's Office issued a press release saying it was searching for Nolan Xavier Wells, described as an 18-year-old black male, approximately 6'1" and weighing 180 pounds. He was last seen on Horn Island on Saturday, July 4th, wearing blue swim trunks, no shirt, and sunglasses. At 5:54 p.m., the sheriff's office established a command post at the Lake Mars boat launch. Sheriff John Ledbetter said multiple agencies joined the search for Wells, including Gulf Islands National Seashore, U.S. National Park Service, and the Coast Guard. They pulled out all the stops so that they could, in hopes of finding him. Other agencies joined in, including the Biloxi Fire Department, which had a boat out, the Harrison County Sheriff's Office, Jackson County Fire, and United Cajun Navy. And then on Monday, July 6th, United Cajun Navy aircraft took to the air just before 6 a.m. on Monday. Search boats were deployed again, with the last vessel leaving just before 8 a.m. And then right here is just a wide shot of Horn Island. People just take their boats out there, they go out there, drink, party, have fun. At around 8:45 a.m., Sheriff Ledbetter confirmed authorities received a call reporting a body found at the northwestern tip of Horn Island. The body was discovered by a U.S. Park Service ranger. Wells' family was asked to come to the Lake Mars boat launch, where they met Sheriff Ledbetter and Coroner Bruce Lind. Just after 11 a.m., the family was taken to the coroner's office in Pascagoula to identify the body. While talking with WLOX News on the phone, Coroner Bruce Lind said that he had no reason to believe it wasn't him. So they positively identified him. But he said he would wait for the official DNA results before making a formal announcement. He said an autopsy was scheduled for Tuesday, July 7th. Just before 1 p.m. on Tuesday, July 7th, Wells' family confirmed his death on social media. His mother posted on Facebook confirming that Wells was the person found on Horn Island. So on Tuesday, July 7th, just before 2 p.m., WLOX learned that Wells' family has retained nationally renowned civil rights and personal injury attorney Ben Crump, calling for a thorough and transparent investigation into how Wells died. And I mean, rightfully so, because if that was like your family member, like you would want to have all the answers and figure out what exactly happened. Like, why would he just say that he wants to stay on the island and then everyone else just leave? Like, I wouldn't be able to follow that. I definitely would want to follow up with an investigator about that. Attorney Crump and the legal team will conduct an independent review of the circumstances of Nolan's passing and will press for the timely release of all records, witness accounts, and autopsy findings. That's according to a press release that they put out. The sheriff's office issued a press release asking anyone with original photos, videos, or eyewitness accounts related to Nolan Wells or any unusual activity from Horn Island on the 4th of July to contact them at 228-769-3065 during regular business hours or 228-769-3063 after hours. Now, it also says that his high school, which was Ocean Springs High School, released a statement like in the wake of his passing. "We are devastated by Nolan's passing," and this is from Jake Bramlett, the head football coach at Ocean Springs. "He was the kind of son, teammate, friend, and student that every coach hopes to have in a program. Nolan was so much more than an outstanding football player. He carried himself with humility, treated others with respect, worked hard, and led by example." And then the principal said, "Nolan was a remarkable student, teammate, and brother. He will be remembered as an extremely kind and hardworking young man who left a lasting impression on his teachers, coaches, teammates, and community. Our thoughts are with his family and many people he made a lasting impact on around him." Now, this is an article that I found on ABC News where they were talking about, different statements that their family has made. It says his mother, Christine Wansley, wrote on social media on Monday that she was absolutely devastated, which is understandably so. I mean, I couldn't even imagine what she could be going through. "My heart is broken for our sweet son, who was always willing to cheer and uplift others," she said. "Nolan was a special soul." Now, this is the part of a statement that Ben Crump said. He said, "We will not rest until every fact about what happened to Nolan on Horn Island is brought into light, and we call on investigators to pursue this case with the urgency and transparency this family deserves." It says that Wells graduated last year from Ocean Springs High School, where he was a multi-sport athlete, and he went on to play football at Southwest Mississippi Community College. So that is like absolutely devastating. He was literally only 18 years old. He was just starting out his life, and it's just a life cut short. It's just really, 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 really sad. I'll definitely be following this case to see if any new updates come out, but I do want to say that, as of the making of this recording, no charges have been filed. No one has been arrested. So I don't want to speculate anything. I just want for the family, I just really, really hope that they get the answers that they need to find out exactly what happened. So rest in peace to Nolan Wells, and please leave your thoughts and condolences in the comment section down below.